Do you ever wake up already feeling heavy? Like the weight of yesterday is still on your chest? What if I told you that in the first 5 minutes of your morning, you could invite peace, clarity, and strength that lasts all day? Today, I'm sharing with you a prayer more than just words that can completely transform how you step into your day. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know this prayer by heart, but also how to unlock its power in your life every single morning. Before we begin, I want you to write this in the comments. Peace flows through me today. Why? Because when you declare it publicly, you're not just writing words, you're creating accountability, planting a seed and joining a community of others walking in peace with you. So type it now. Peace flows through me today. Let's set the atmosphere together. Let's begin with something simple but powerful. The first 5 minutes of your morning. You see, those minutes are not just ordinary time. They're sacred. Think of them as the soil in which you plant the seeds of your entire day. If you wake up and immediately grab your phone, scroll through bad news, or check emails, you're planting seeds of stress. And guess what grows? Anxiety, hurry, and worry. But when you dedicate those first 5 minutes to prayer, you're choosing a completely different harvest. Instead of rushing, you invite calm. Instead of chaos, you anchor yourself in peace. Science even backs this up. Your brain is in a highly impressionable state right after waking. What you feed your mind then shapes your mood, your focus, and your energy. So here's the prayer we'll begin with. God, thank you for this new day. Fill my heart with peace, my mind with clarity, and my spirit with strength. Let me walk in calmness, no matter what comes my way. Simple, yet powerful. You don't need fancy words. You just need sincerity. This morning prayer is like setting the thermostat in your house. If you set it to peace in the morning, everything else in your day rises or falls to that temperature. And when challenges come, as they always do, you'll find yourself steadier, calmer, and more focused because your foundation is peace. So remember this. The first 5 minutes of your day are not negotiable. They're your time with God, your time with peace. And when you choose prayer first, you're choosing victory first. The first 5 minutes of your day are more important than most people realize. They set the tone, they shape your focus, and they influence how you respond to everything that follows. Imagine waking up and immediately reaching for your phone, emails, messages, news alerts. Before you've even taken a deep breath, your spirit is already pulled in 10 directions. That is how many people begin their mornings, and it is no wonder so much of their day feels rushed. It's pressured and unsteady. But prayer changes everything. When you dedicate those first minutes to God, to peace, and to stillness, you are planting seeds of calm that will carry you through the storms of the day. Those moments become a sacred pause, a holy reset. They remind you that before the demands, the deadlines, or the distractions, there is peace waiting for you. Here's a simple prayer to begin. God, thank you for this new day. Fill me with peace that surpasses understanding. Guard my heart and mind, and let me carry your calm into every situation. Speaking words like these right after waking sets the thermostat of your soul. No matter what interruptions or challenges come, you've already chosen peace first. You've claimed it, you've invited it, you've grounded yourself in it. Remember this truth. Mornings are like the steering wheel of your day. If you start with chaos, you'll likely drift into more chaos. But if you start with prayer, you steer toward peace, clarity, and strength. Protect those first 5 minutes. They are not small. They are your foundation. Peace often doesn't come because our minds are too noisy. You might wake up with yesterday's arguments still echoing, unfinished tasks shouting for attention, or a to-do list that feels longer than your energy. This mental clutter is like static on a radio eye. It blocks the signal of peace. That's why prayer begins with releasing the noise. Before you can receive calm, you must make space for it. Think of it like cleaning a room. If every corner is filled with clutter, there's no space for new things. The same is true for your mind. Start with this practice. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and say, God, I release every thought that doesn't serve me today. Take my worries, my fears, my anxieties. Make room in me for your peace. When you speak these words, you're emptying yourself of distractions. You're acknowledging that you can't carry it all, and you don't have to. Scripture reminds us to cast all our cares upon Him because He cares for us. That's not just poetry, it's an invitation. Once the clutter is released, peace has somewhere to land. Your prayer becomes lighter, your heart more open, and your mind clearer. You will notice your breathing slow, your shoulders relax, and a calm awareness settling over you. That is not an accident. That is peace finding its home. The problem isn't that God doesn't want to give us peace. The problem is that we often have no room for it. By intentionally clearing the mental clutter through prayer, you open the door wide for calm to enter. This is the secret to beginning each morning with freedom. Release, then receive. Gratitude and peace are deeply connected. You cannot hold a grateful heart and an anxious spirit at the same time. When you choose to start your morning with thanksgiving, you are choosing to shift your focus from what's missing to what's already here. That shift alone creates an atmosphere of peace. Think about it. Most stress in the morning comes from anticipating problems, what might go wrong, what isn't finished, what's uncertain. Gratitude interrupts that cycle. It reminds you of what is already steady, already good, already provided. Here's a gratitude prayer to start your morning. God, thank you for this breath. Thank you for this body that carries me. Thank you for the sunlight, the roof over my head, the people in my life. Let my heart stay anchored in thanksgiving today. When you pray like this, you're not ignoring life's challenges. You're strengthening your heart to face them. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it gives you a clearer perspective and a calmer spirit to approach them. It's hard to stay restless when your heart is counting blessings. Make this practical before you leave your bed. Name 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand. Small things matter. The smell of coffee, the comfort of a blanket, the chance to begin again today. Each small acknowledgement is a stone in the foundation of peace. Gratitude turns your eyes from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith. And once your perspective shifts, peace flows naturally. Start your mornings in gratitude, and you'll find yourself walking lighter, calmer, and stronger throughout the day. Peace is not just the absence of trouble, the presence of God. That's why true morning peace begins with intentionally inviting His presence into your day. Imagine stepping into a busy, noisy world without first grounding yourself in the awareness that you're not alone. No wonder so many feel overwhelmed before noon. Prayer is the doorway to God's presence. When you begin your morning by acknowledging Him, you shift from self-reliance to divine partnership. You are saying, I don't have to carry this day by myself. I am guided, I am supported, I am not alone. Here's a prayer you can use. God, I invite you into this day. Walk with me in every step. Guide me in every decision, and let your peace surround me like a shield. May your presence go before me, remain with me, and follow me. These words open a spiritual awareness that transforms how you move through the hours ahead. Suddenly, you're not just reacting to situations, you're walking in step with divine wisdom. The stress may still come, but it doesn't shake you as easily because you know you are covered. This practice also changes how you treat others. When you walk with the awareness of God's presence, you become slower to anger, quicker to forgive, and more patient in difficulty. Peace flows from you because peace flows to you. Every morning, pause to invite God in. It takes less than a minute, but changes everything. When you step into your day with His presence, you don't just enter your schedule, enter with strength, clarity, and deep, sustaining peace. Many people wake up already anxious. Even before the first sip of coffee, their hearts are racing, their thoughts are running, and their bodies feel tense. This is because mornings often remind us of everything waiting: deadlines, responsibilities, and unknown challenges. If left unchecked, this morning anxiety steals peace before the day even begins. But prayer is a weapon against that anxiety. Instead of letting fear set the tone, you can choose to let faith lead the way. Anxiety thrives in silence, but it weakens when spoken out and surrendered in prayer. Here's a prayer you can use. God, I release every anxious thought to you right now. Calm my mind, steady my heart, and remind me that you are bigger than anything I will face today. Fill me with courage and cover me with your peace. When you pray this way, you're not pretending anxiety doesn't exist. You're redirecting it. You're refusing to let worry drive your decisions. You're shifting control from fear to faith. Pair this prayer with deep breathing. Inhale slowly, exhale fully, and imagine releasing every fear with each breath. This physical rhythm reinforces the spiritual release over time. You'll notice a pattern. What used to shake you will no longer disturb you as easily. Anxiety might knock on the door, but peace will be the answer. The truth is, anxiety will try to visit you daily, but it doesn't have to live with you. By beginning your mornings with prayer against worry, you set a shield around your mind and spirit. You'll find yourself calmer, clearer, and ready to face the day not with fear, but with faith. One of the hidden causes of unrest is living without purpose. When you wake up and don't know why you're doing what you're doing, peace slips away easily. Every task feels like a burden. Every challenge feels heavier. And motivation fades quickly. Morning prayer is a chance to realign with your purpose. It reminds you that your life has meaning and that every day, no matter how ordinary, is part of a greater design. Purpose brings focus, and focus brings peace. Here's a prayer for alignment. God, remind me today of my purpose. Let my words, my actions, and my thoughts reflect the reason you placed me here. Give me clarity in my work, joy in my service, and peace in knowing I'm walking in your plan. This type of prayer shifts your perspective. Instead of seeing the day as random or burdensome, you begin to see it as intentional and sacred. Even small tasks gain significance when they are connected to purpose. Take a moment each morning to ask yourself, what is one way I can live out my purpose today? Write it down. Pray it aloud. When your heart aligns with purpose, anxiety loses its grip, because peace naturally follows clarity. Living with purpose also helps you say no to distractions. You become less reactive and more intentional, which conserves emotional energy. That alone is a huge step toward peace. Start each morning by inviting God to align your heart with your purpose. This alignment is not just about productivity, it's about peace, confidence, and direction. Purpose anchors you, and an anchored life is a peaceful life. Some mornings feel heavier than others. You wake up already tired, aware of all that must be done, and it seems impossible to carry. Peace can feel far away when the weight of responsibility presses down, but prayer gives strength where weakness lives. In the quiet of morning, you can exchange your exhaustion for divine empowerment. You don't have to walk into the day in your own strength. You can walk in God's. Here's a prayer for those mornings. God, I feel weak today. I feel the weight of what lies ahead, but I know I am not alone. Be my strength when I am weary, my courage when I feel afraid, and my peace when I am restless. With you, I can face this day. When you pray these words sincerely, you are acknowledging your humanity while embracing divine help. That honesty opens the door for peace. Strength is not the absence of struggle, it is the calm assurance that you are not carrying it alone. Throughout the day, repeat this simple phrase whenever you feel overwhelmed. God, be my strength. Each time you speak it, peace returns like a deep breath. Peace is not found in avoiding responsibility, but in knowing you are equipped to handle it with God's help. And every time you begin your day by asking for strength, you will discover a quiet confidence that grows stronger with each challenge. When the day feels overwhelming, remember this: peace is not the absence of pressure, but the presence of power greater than your own. Prayer is the key to tapping into that power every single morning. Much of the unrest we carry each day comes from people, misunderstandings, conflicts, or strained relationships. Even before the morning begins, many of us replay arguments in our minds or anticipate difficult conversations ahead. This robs us of peace before the day has even started. But prayer can transform how you enter every relationship. When you pray peace over your interactions, you stop carrying yesterday's tension into today's conversations. You become an instrument of calm rather than conflict. Here's a prayer to begin with. God, bless the people I will encounter today. Give me patience, kindness, and gentleness in my words. Let peace flow through me so that even in difficult moments, I bring calm instead of chaos. Praying like this doesn't just change others, it changes you. It softens your heart, sharpens your awareness, and prepares you to respond rather than react. Peace in relationships begins within, and prayer is how you cultivate it. You can also take this practice further by naming specific people each morning. Pray peace over your family, coworkers, or even those you find difficult. This doesn't mean you ignore boundaries or tolerate harmful behavior. It means you choose not to carry bitterness into your day. The result is powerful. When your spirit is anchored in peace, your relationships reflect that peace. Arguments decrease, compassion increases, and you find yourself walking through the day lighter, freer, you're more connected. Start each morning by speaking peace into your relationships. You'll discover that the more peace you sow into others, the more peace grows within you. One of the greatest thieves of peace is yesterday. Regrets, mistakes, or disappointments from the past can easily follow us into today, weighing us down before the day even starts. If we don't release yesterday, we can't fully embrace today. That's why morning prayer must include letting go. Think of it as unpacking a heavy backpack. If you keep carrying everything from yesterday, you'll have no strength left for what's ahead. Here's a prayer for release. God, I let go of yesterday. Forgive me for where I fell short, heal me from what hurt me, and free me from what I cannot change. I step into this new day with peace, trusting that you make all things new. These words are more than symbolic, they're liberating. They remind you that each day is a fresh gift, not a repeat of the past. Take a practical step when you wake. Imagine placing yesterday into God's hands. Every regret, every failure, every disappointment, give it back. Say aloud, release it. That act of surrender shifts your spirit from carrying burdens to carrying peace. This doesn't mean ignoring lessons from the past. It means learning what you need, then letting the rest go. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow hasn't come. But peace lives in today. When you begin your morning with release, you create room for joy, clarity, and calm. Peace cannot enter a heart that is still bound by yesterday. But once you let go, peace floods in, like sunlight breaking through clouds. The morning prayer is the beginning. But true peace lasts when you carry it with you throughout the day. Too often we pray once in the morning, then forget until the next crisis. But prayer is not a moment tits, a rhythm. Living the prayer means reminding yourself, hour by hour, that peace is always available. When frustrations rise, whisper a quick prayer. God, bring me back to peace. When confusion sets in, say, guide me with clarity. These short, consistent prayers keep you anchored. Here's a way to extend your morning prayer. Choose a word of peace to repeat throughout the day. It could be calm, trust, or peace. Each time you feel stress building, return to that word as a centering prayer. Another practice is to pause at midday. Take 60 seconds, breathe deeply, and thank God for His presence. That small pause realigns your heart and recharges your spirit. The truth is, peace doesn't just happen, it's cultivated. And when you live your prayer throughout the day, peace becomes a lifestyle rather than a fleeting feeling. You'll notice you react differently to stress. You listen more deeply. You carry a calmness that others notice. So let your morning prayer be the starting point, but not the ending. Carry it with you. Let it guide your conversations, your decisions, and your responses. When you do, you'll discover that peace is not just something you find in the morning, it's something you walk in all day long now. You have a morning prayer that doesn't just start your day, transforms it. Remember, peace isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. If this brought you value, share it with someone who needs peace today. And don't forget, drop that affirmation in the comments. Peace flows through me today. Because the more you declare it, the more it becomes true for you. I'll see you tomorrow morning, ready to pray again.